Now then, how are you doing? I hope you're well. So here's a question. Apart from the sanitation, the medicine, education, wine, public order, irrigation, roads, a fresh water system and public health, what have the Romans ever done for us? Well, for one thing, they gave us Hadrian's Wall. In its heyday, Hadrian's Wall stretched for 73 miles and spanned the entire width of England, from Wallsend in the east to Bowness-on-Solway in the west, and represented the northernmost border of the great Roman Empire. Depending which resource you read, its primary purpose was to keep out those troublesome tribes to the north and separate the Romans from the barbarians. As well as its obvious defensive properties, slowing down any potential enemy attack and reducing the risk of plundering and destruction, it provided a physical barrier through which all movement could be observed and controlled. These are the remains of Housesteads Fort, built around 124 AD and originally home to a large detachment of legionnaires. By 409 AD, the Romans had retreated and abandoned it altogether. Today, Housesteads Fort is owned by the National Trust and managed by English Heritage, and is well worth the entrance fee. Wandering through what's left of the fort is enough to give you a sense of its scale. Information boards provide a glimpse into the lives of those legionnaires stationed here, and of course one can't leave the site without marvelling at the remains of its stone latrines, one of the best preserved examples of Roman ingenuity still in existence. I love visiting this area. Housesteads Fort is a must-see, of course, but for me the wall itself, or what remains of it, and the distinctive landscape upon which it was built is the main attraction. An 84-mile long-distance trail is available to those who wish to walk its entire length, but I would suggest the most scenic section is the middle bit, where the wall is at its most visible, and particularly the section adjacent to Housesteads, where it curls its way over Hotbank Crags and looks down upon Craglock and Broomley Loch. From here, the views are extensive. What did the Romans ever do for us? They gave us a great subject to paint. I've started out with a loose wet in wet wash of raw sienna and Prussian blue, and then lifted out a few key highlights with a piece of tissue. It's the distinctive shape of the land that interests me most of all, so a light grey enables me to explore those shapes and establish its general layout as early as possible. My green is mixed from cadmium yellow and Prussian blue, and I'm applying it to those areas where it appears at its most vibrant. Another feature I want to establish early on are the small patches of woodland, tiny little copses dotted here and there on the gently rolling hills like furry caterpillars. In watercolour we work from light to dark, so I'm keen to start building up those more intense tones that help me to sculpt the hills and establish the details of the wall. It's important to keep softening those brushstrokes off though, to blend them into the surrounding wash. It's also important to create contrasts in all the right places, to visually explain where one hill ends and another begins. The rise and fall of the landscape is gentle and its colours are relatively pale, so I have to be careful not to overwork it or overemphasise its contours. Castle 39, the point at where the land dips down is known as Sycamore Gap, due to a large sycamore tree that grows there. Believed to be several hundred years old, the tree attracts much attention from visitors, and quite rightly so, as it is a significant, iconic landmark. Not to mention a great place to stop and eat lunch before heading back to the fort. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I've visited Housesteads Fort and Hadrian's Wall on several occasions and have never yet been disappointed. Well, from a painting point of view, the landscape is distinctive yet also quite gentle. And one of the biggest challenges I find is that of restraint, conveying its character without over-dramatising it. It's spectacular enough in its own unique way. Well, if you have enjoyed this video, then please do hit that like button. It'll help me to produce more of them and grow the channel. And if this is the first time you've visited my channel, then welcome. Where have you been? It will be great to have you along as a subscriber. Well, I should say, if you're interested in the longer uncut version of this video, which features the full non-time-lapsed painting demonstration, then I'm pleased to say that it is available along with a step-by-step guide to painting it yourself, should you wish. Well, this and hundreds of other similar projects are available to all subscribers of my online tuition service, which starts at a mere £9 per month. Well, full details of how to subscribe to that can be found in the description below. Until next time, take care